Speaking of Casanova situation, Jay-Z and all the rappers are trying to get a bill passed. You heard about that?
Beautiful. Beautiful move on the part of Jay-Z. And just a reminder, shout out to Hov. Just a reminder, you know Jay-Z owned a part of the Nets?
Yeah, I do that.
You know that they built a whole stadium because Jay-Z said he could get the Nets to come to Brooklyn?
No, I didn't know that.
Most
I didn't
people-
know it was because of Jay-Z.
Everybody forget that. You know he's in the NFL, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You know he might be the very first black face that owns an NFL team.
Well, that's the goal.
I don't think
Supposedly,
that's the goal, but
supposedly he
sounds
was
good.
supposed to get it a couple years back, but they didn't allow him or something like that. Something
Right.
happens. Yeah.
So now Casanova is jammed up. He has affiliations and relationships with people that's associated with Rock Nation. Jay-Z has the billions to attract and have the relationship with those that the law is made to protect. Jay-Z knows Casanova's trial is getting ready to come up. He's getting ready to get jammed up over his lyrics. Jay-Z and everybody gets involved where if they don't change the law, they get the ability to impact and affect the jury, right? So now, if this does pass, which it won't, unless they pull some really good strings, because time for a bill to get passed into a law is not an instantaneous thing. It takes some time, right? So if Casanova has the ability, and this is not all about Casanova, but I'm showing you the parallels of it, right? Yo, if we get involved politically and keep making noise about rap lyrics not being able to be used in the trial, they don't got no case against Casanova,
That's pretty much their case. But
right?
the FBI, they probably have some other stuff too, though.
Yeah,
I
so
heard there's
what?
text messages and stuff.
So what? It's not. I make sure I'm not advocating crime. It's not. That's why I used to teach everybody that worked for me. You're gonna catch a case. It's not if you catch a case, it's how you catch the case. I got a key of coke in my hand. They say, freeze, don't move. They getting out the car, all the FBI, break it open, hypothetically. And I start stomping it out. That whole key just got reduced to a quarter of a key. Because they not scraping that all up
You
off
just,
the floor.
that's your sentence too, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I just reduced my sentence, conviction, the severity, my bail price, everything just changed because I just did one act in a matter of seconds and destroying evidence, right? So he may not get scot-free. It's extremely hard from the feds to walk away scot-free,
Yeah.
right? Anybody do less than 10 at one time was super suspicious. Now the feds just need to fill the cells. We got a conviction. We convicted Casanova. Time in, severity of the case, the major charges get thrown out. The evidence gets suppressed because Jay-Z and them, or they get a jury. They get a jury from Brooklyn. Because here's the number one thing. Black people can't go to prison if black people stop saying they're guilty. If black people sat on juries, right? There's no convictions without juries unless you plead guilty. Another thing, like I said before, if everybody, which is not gonna happen because our gangs is not organized enough, but if the OGs from the set said anybody that cop out, that take a plea, we gonna murder you. Everybody's going to trial. They are forced to release people. They cannot, no state, nowhere can hold all them cases. It's 10,000 cases.
They pick and choose. They're going to have to pick and choose.
If everybody goes to trial, they don't have the money, they don't have the manpower, they don't have the time, they don't have the research, they don't have it on a state level. Everybody go to trial. So the system will fall apart. And then if they do go to trial and black people started saying, when I sit on a jury with other black people, I'm going to take a closer look at what's really being said. If one person on a jury says, I'm not convicting him. Why? I'm going to tell you why. My vote is no. That's a hung jury. When you have a hung jury, that means the DA has to start all over. So that $40,000 they spent on you to take you to trial, they got to spend another 40. His boss says, not on what? What's the case? What's the charge? Who died? Nobody? No, we're not doing that. Tell them to cop out to this.
Let's make a plea deal.
Let's make a deal. First, they was offering you 25, now they offering you 3 years, right? Or they'll come back and they'll say, case dismissed. We're not taking this back to trial. Because if they do take it back to trial, and another black jury or 2 or 3 of them said, no, it's not enough evidence. That's all they got to say. They ain't got to say, I think he's innocent, I think he's guilty, and just follow the rules. Instead of sleeping through the whole trial, now understand what y'all think. I think you're guilty. How many for guilty? 9. What about you 3? Well, we don't know. We want to go, man, I've been sitting in this jury thing. I want to go home. I've been here for weeks. And this, that, and I don't care. He's black. If people start that energy, criminal justice system changes. But you're going to start seeing, like, really, really, really rich white people, they leave the country, man. They leave the country. So you're going to start seeing a lot of blacks getting appointed because they don't want Latinos in. Why? Because Latinos is going to take over the entire country in a minute. Trust me, you're going to have to be forced to learn Latin
Spanish,
in another 25 years. Because this used to be Mexico. Right here, where we at right now. Used to be Mexico. And they forget to tell the people that. People don't realize that. So now, what happened in the beginning, happened in the end is going to go back to the way it was in the beginning. So these blacks are going to trickle down into all these political positions, all these courts, all these different occupations of so-called power, and you're going to see a change. And they're going to go back to getting poor whites, because there was a time our prison systems all throughout America was filled with Irish, the first niggas, the Irish. It's not until they became coppers, started putting copper badges and became police officers and made everybody in their family join the police force.
The first gang?
So, maybe.
Or was it a KKK?
Nah, that was a joke. Those was jokers. That was fueled by wealthy landowners that the Constitution was made for.